Everyone, I'm in for Deirdre Fitzpatrick. I'm Brandy Cummings.
And I'm Teo Torres. So let's get right to meteorologist Tamara Berg with a look at our forecast. So Tamara, are we going to build on the heat we felt yesterday?
We are. As mentioned, we're kind of tacking on a few degrees each day, including today. We're going to add on a couple more degrees to the forecast into the afternoon. Right now, we've got upper 50s to low 60s. So on a morning when you know it's going to be a warmer afternoon ahead, you probably want to take advantage of the morning when it's comfortable. If you want to go for a walk or a bike ride right now, Fairfield, 55 degrees with a little bit of a breeze coming through the Delta. 60 right now stepping out in Modesto. Grab that warm beverage or put your coffee over ice this morning at 59 in Sacramento. 61 right now in Yuba City. We have mid-60s in Placerville and Auburn. Up the hill you go. Temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s. That breeze has been a nice signal there in Fairfield for that cooler air to come through, but as it starts to wither away and back off a bit for the afternoon, it is going to signal a warmer day overall. For the valley, in a spot like Sacramento, for example, we're again trending in those 50s to low 60s to start. By 10 o'clock, we're already moving up to that mild number of 70 degrees. By lunchtime, temperatures in the lower 80s. If you have a patio plan, make sure it does have an umbrella or some shade for you. We'll be in the upper 80s around 2 o'clock with a high today of 92 degrees, which is above average for a change. I'll talk about how long these warmer than average temperatures could be lingering around for this week coming up in your full forecast. Time right now is 6:02. Brian, are there any issues for our commuters?
Let's check out Highway 50 at 65th right now, and you can see that as your westbound ride coming in there. Still no delays there as traffic moving along, where yesterday we saw some pretty heavy congestion in that area, so I want to keep a close eye on that for you and let you know if and when that starts to build today. Interstate 80 coming in from the Roseville area down through the Split, Cap City Freeway, and across the top, all looking good there, and 5 and 99. We're starting to see a little bit of slowing northbound 99, and of course that's all right as you approach the WX Freeway and the Fix 50 projects, another area we've been keeping an eye on. Stockton, no other issues to report other than this one, which was earlier in the evening. That is not going to be a problem for you this morning. And then westbound Highway 4 looking good as you make your way out toward the Bay Area. 205 starting to stack up now, backed up to 11th Street there across the top of the Tracy Triangle. You're going to have a 31-minute ride there from 5 to 580. Westbound 580, 205 to 680, a 32-minute ride. And then here in Sacramento, out of Rancho Cordova into downtown on Highway 50 is a 10-minute ride. Interstate 80 Roseville to the Split, 9 minutes. I-5 out of Elk Grove, 11 minutes, and 99 is running at 14 minutes right now. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Brian. We continue following a developing story out of Sacramento. There has been a heavy police presence in the Oak Park area just off San Jose Way near 11th Avenue, just south of Broadway. We have a live look now here at the scene. You can see officers still out there investigating. Have a number of evidence markers placed on the ground. This began around 12:15 this morning with a call about a shooting. Not a lot of details have been released thus far as we continue to zoom out here of the live scene. It's been ongoing for the past hour, and we will continue to follow this and bring you more information as we get it. We're working to confirm details too. Anyone lives in this area, you just should avoid driving through here. Stay with us for more updates. Well, in South Sacramento, a person is in the hospital with life-threatening wounds after being shot. Happened on Center Parkway near Valley High Drive around 8 o'clock last night. Police spent the night investigating the scene, trying to find witnesses. No arrests have been made, and there's no suspect information. Well, happening tonight, Sacramento County Sheriff and District Attorney will hold a town hall meeting to discuss a recent rash of crimes.
Melanie Wingo joining us now in studio with a look at the problem and what's being done to address it.
Well, the Sheriff's Office tells us it's reaching out to the community to give people a sense of what it's doing and what's been done following recent robberies in the South Sacramento area affecting the Asian community. And they want to share some preventive measures that may help people and businesses protect themselves. All this coming from 3 higher-profile robberies that left people victimized in shopping centers near Florin Road and Stockton Boulevard. In one robbery last month, video shows a woman was walking toward her car when someone got out of a car parked next to hers and stole her purse. The Sheriff's Office describing the bold attackers.
That's the crazy part. They're happening a lot in just broad daylight. You know, you traditionally think that, oh, these are happening in off hours and back alleys, but they're occurring in the middle of busy shopping centers in the middle of the day while people are out. These guys are brazen, they don't care, and we want to make sure people are taking the, sometimes not so obvious steps to prevent them from becoming victims.
So that public safety town hall is set for 6 o'clock this evening inside the community room of the Sheriff's Office Central Station. That's on 65th Street. During their meeting, officers will take questions and hear concerns about public safety, and they'll also give people ideas about how to stay safe. And the Sheriff's Office also points out it has made some arrests of robbery suspects, but they're juveniles, so their identities aren't being released. Brandy?
Melanie, thanks so much for that report. Police have arrested a youth football coach in Oakdale, accused of encouraging children to fight. Police say 33-year-old Joshua Troxell was arrested after a video of the fight started circulating. Police say it depicts two young boys fighting, with Troxell in the background encouraging them. This involves the Oakdale Stampede team. Both of the children are okay. Troxell turned himself in and now faces child endangerment charges.
Rockland police say scammers have been posing as officers trying to rip people off. This is a similar scam to the one seen in a number of other cities in our area. The scammers are calling residents, posing as officers and trying to get them to send gift cards or money transfers. A reminder, police will never ask for payment over the phone. They say if you get one of these calls, just hang up.
A bus filled with migrants arrived in Southern California after a 23-hour ride from Texas without stopping for food or water. They got into LA yesterday afternoon. The group of 42 people were taken to a church, then provided with food and supplies. They originated from Venezuela, Guatemala, and Honduras. Texas Governor Greg Abbott took credit for the busing, blaming it on President Biden's immigration policy, adding that it was much needed relief for the border.
The governor of Texas is using human beings as a political stunt. This is obviously, he's obviously a person who's been elected that is not strong enough to meet the moment in his state.
We receive people with humanity, with dignity, and understand that these are individuals who are being persecuted.
Governor Abbott says since last spring, Texas has sent more than 21,000 migrants to sanctuary cities across the country.
Well, for the first time in more than 15 months, the Federal Reserve announced it would leave current interest rates alone. The decision signals several attempts to keep prices and inflation under control are paying off, but it's still far from over. KCRA3's Amy Liu explains what that means for inflation and the prices we all pay.
Well, the Fed's latest decision suggests that inflation may be cooling down, but the agency has hinted to a couple more interest rate hikes later on this year, making loans, credit cards, and mortgages all more expensive in the future.
We've covered a lot of ground, and the full effects of our tightening have yet to be felt.
Finally, relief for consumers and the Federal Reserve announcing a pause on interest rate hikes, leaving the benchmark rate at 5.1%.
That's important breathing room for the American people. We need to make more progress, though.
White House economists say a tight labor market driven by hungry employers and rising wages, and consumers willing to spend on goods and especially services all have kept prices up. Since then, the Fed has push interest rates to record highs, the effects only recently showing signs of prices slowing down.
Look at core inflation over the past 6 months, year. You're just not seeing a lot of progress, not the kind of progress we want to see.
That latest data showing inflation dropped to 4% in May, down sharply from a 9% peak around the same time last year, as housing, car, and gas prices fall.
We've made significant progress in bringing inflation down at the same time that we've maintained a historically strong job market. That's the kind of progress we want to see in the months ahead.
The Fed is still far from reaching its 2% inflation goal, and the agency's next interest rate decision is expected to come down in late July. In Washington, I'm Amy Liu, KCRA 3 News.
Meanwhile, the fate of student loan relief could be decided as soon as today. The Supreme Court meets again, and they're expected to release more decisions. President Biden's student loan forgiveness program is in the hands of the High Court. That after it was put on hold over several legal challenges. The program would provide millions of borrowers with up to $20,000 in debt relief. The Supreme Court usually releases its opinions around 7 o'clock our time, so maybe in another hour or so. This news, however, comes as millions of Americans are preparing to start paying back their debt once again for the first time since March of 2020. The pandemic era pause later this year after Congress passed a law preventing further extensions. The Department of Education is now clarifying that student loan interest resumes on September the 1st. Payments will be due starting in October.
Well, tonight, City of Stockton wraps up a series of open houses aimed at giving residents a chance to weigh in on how to make neighborhoods better. It's an effort called Shape Stockton. Tonight, you can share what you want for new housing and developments. Currently, the city is looking at 3 neighborhoods: the Little Manila Gleason Park area, the East Cabral Station area, and the South Airport Way corridor. The meeting begins at 7:30 this evening in the clubhouse off Sierra Vista Apartments on 11th Street.